All right, so this is a piece of sinew from deer. It's from a leg tendon, and these are the pretty dense or tough ones here, and they're good for backing bows. And the backstrap sinew are better for use for wrappings, for hafting arrowheads and spears, stuff like that. These are going to create short and thick, dense fibers that we split down into. They break down into bundles like this, and in order to get it into this state, you have to pulverize them, and I'm using a rock to do so. And you generally just pound it like so, and I'm doing this one-handed, but just to kind of give you an idea. The areas you have to concentrate on is the split here. This is really tough where the tendon splits. It's very tough to get this to split when you start to break these apart and split them down. But you can do it. You just have to pulverize and focus more on this area here. If you don't have a rock, a hammer works too. You can certainly use a hammer. That'll work too. The thing is, you just want to break down the fibers. Now, the thing about sinew is you can see it's kind of translucent. And what it is what's holding these fibers together is natural glues. And to sinew back a bow or something like that, then you will use a combination of hide glue and the natural glues that are within the fibers of the sinew. And then they will pretty much get rock hard when they cure and be like a lamination, like almost fiberglass when it's all said and done. Sinew, deer or bovine tendon is the strongest natural fiber you can get outside of the plant world, and it's very, very strong, used for bowstrings, backing bows, and many different other sorts of projects and crafts and tools and weapons. But you got to pulverize it down, and then you want to split them down to into finer portions like this. So that's what I'm doing now, and I'm almost done. Yay. I have my pounded out sinew here. I'll set that aside for now. And I've got a hot pad here. I'm just going to turn this on a little bit. And then what I want is a hide glue. And I'm going to do a 1-to-1 ratio. 1-to-1 ratio of this powdered hide glue to water. And so take this. I'll just do 1 cup. You won't need very much. That's about a cup. So I think what I have is a cup. Yeah, that's about what I got. So about 1 cup hide glue. Powdered hide glue, and then I'm going to fill this with water, and we're going to melt this down on the hot pad. Alright, so I'm going to sinew back this bow. I've already done this limb a little bit. It's been a while since I've done it, so it's a little sloppy, but it'll work. And this will laminate, this will dry and cure really hard. It'll be like fiberglass when it's all done. So I'm going to go ahead and get started on this limb here. And what I like to do is I've taken my hide glue, and I've got my heat source here to heat it up. And right now, while it's liquid, I'm going to take this and I just kind of want to paint it on as a base. I'm going to paint that on a little bit, just like so. I'm using a basting brush. That'll work for that. And then I've got my sinew pieces here that I've been soaking in water, so now they're back to floppy consistency. And so what I like to do is I'm going to start off, I'm going to take one strand here, I want to dip it, make sure that I can touch the warm, not hot, hide glue and just kind of take this and then wrap this around the top onto the middle like this. I'm just going to do that there. A bit of hair in the way, but that's fine. And I just want to start a stream down the middle. I'm going to take another piece, dip it in, strain off the excess, go right alongside it, do the same thing. And what I want to start to do is build up and build a ridge, and I want to just keep laying more strips along the back or the spine of the bow. But first I want to anchor it at the top. So I want to get on the side here, like that, and then take this and just tack it down, just like so. And then what I'll start to do is lay other pieces on. Just start to kind of lay them in like so, and just pat them down. Lay them in like so. And then what can happen is as these start to set, I want to take my finger and just kind of rub them horizontally, kind of lay them out flat, and that helps them blend in. Just like so. So that's the start of it. I'm going to go ahead and lay some more. I'm going to get the edges here, and I want to go all the way to the handle. Okay, so I'm working my way towards the middle, and really what it is you're just kind of layering the pieces in, kind of like laying brick in. And so I'm doing like a first layer up to the handle here, and then I'm going to lay another layer on top. So it'd be best, I don't have enough sinew, but it'd be great to have like 1/4 of an inch, probably just doing 1/8 of an inch thick based on the sinew that I had 10 pieces, and so basically, let me take one here. And basically here, I'm just finding a spot where I can lay it in, making sure I don't forget my edges, and then just pat it in there, like so. And then, like I said, I can use my fingers to kind of blend them in together just gently by rubbing them perpendicular. And then I'm working all the way up to the handle like I did on the other side. And then there's a piece in here that needs a piece. Fill that in. Pat that in like that. So that's basically what it is. And I have the rest of these I'm going to use, and then once I get all the way to the handle, I'm going to just do another layer all the way back again. And then we let it dry. Now if I put enough sinew on here, what'll be nice is that it'll start to cause the bow to recurve or pull up as these dry and shrink. We'll see what happens. But for the most part, it's just going to reinforce this bow and make it pretty much almost indestructible. Hide glue is water soluble, so I can't leave this in the rain or soak it in the lake, because it'll just come apart. And I got to keep it out of excessive heat or it'll cook. But for the most part, under normal use and circumstances, this is like acts like fiberglass. So it's natural fiberglass. pat that down, have these meet in the middle. So that's pretty much it. So I'm going to get the edges here, and then I'm going to lay another layer on here, and then we should be done. Hi. Alright, so I'm finishing up on my remnants here. I'm just filling in some of the blanks here. And one thing about the hide glue, when I started, it was kind of in a crystalline form. And really what hide glue is just basically like rawhide and tendon that's been like rendered down, boiled down, and dried out and then grated and it liquefied. So basically Elmer's glue, or when you say you're going to send the horse to the glue factory, that's basically what hide glue is. It's just rendered down rawhide and tendons, hooves, and that, and then it makes a nice tight glue. The problem is, like I said, it's water soluble, so when you're sinew backing anything, you have to watch out for the temperatures, and you have to watch out for moisture. Once it's completely dried and cured, you don't have to really worry about it so much. If it's just kind of, if you're out in the rain with your bow, it's not a big deal, but you just don't want to soak it underwater. That'll cause everything to lift up. A lot of times the finishing part to it is adding some shellac or polyurethane to the top to coat it and to seal it in. So these are our last bits here. Just going to lay this out. Put this in. And it usually takes about a week for this to dry or to cure. So after I'm done here, I'm going to just set this up, set the bow up, and put it in a cool, dry place and let it just dry and cure. And then we will restring it up and see if we need any more tillering that needs to be done. And that should be it. I may back this with some rawhide. Just to give it a nice finished look. I'll put this last piece here. I'll put this here. And there we have it. So we'll let this dry. I may put another coat of hide glue on this, and then it'll be done.